Welcome. If you're watching this explainer, it means you've been tapped for your highly specialized engineering expertise to help draft the new CSA S920.1 Tunnel Design Guide. Now, we all know that writing comprehensive engineering codes is traditionally a monumental, headache-inducing, years-long challenge. But for this standard, we're doing things a bit differently. Today, we're going to walk through a highly secure AI-assisted workflow that was designed specifically to translate your deep knowledge into a finalized standard with unprecedented efficiency. Okay, let's dive right in. Here's a quick roadmap of what we'll cover. We'll start with a welcome to the workflow, introduce your secure AI assistant, break down the 4-stage code pipeline, clarify your roles and responsibilities, detail the 2 expert control gates, and finally, show you how to get started today. All right, Section 1, Welcome to the Workflow, how we build the CSA S92.1 standard. Listen, if there's literally just one phrase you take away from this entire explainer, make it this: AI-assisted, expert-authored. This is the core philosophy of our whole project. The AI serves strictly as an administrative, formatting, and productivity layer. It synthesizes, it formats, and it checks for consistency. But you, the expert, retain absolute authorship, technical authority, and veto power. The AI writes absolutely nothing original. It only processes exactly what you feed it. And that brings us to how we actually feed it. The entire process relies on what we call anchor documents. Think of anchor documents as the Tier 1 trusted source materials, like specific tunneling handbooks, established standards, or peer-reviewed papers that you personally hand-select and provide. Once you hand those over, we strictly lock that source set. The AI is grounded exclusively in your trusted sources. By forcing the system to only look at the literature you have vetted, we virtually eliminate the risk of AI hallucination or the invention of fake technical content. Moving on to Section 2, your secure AI assistant. Let's introduce Google NotebookLM. To process your anchor documents, we use Google NotebookLM, and this is backed by the operational support of the Mobasher Research Group at Arizona State University. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. What about data security? Well, it's a huge relief. Your private data, your proprietary PDFs, and your workflow outputs are strictly siloed. They will absolutely not be used to train any foundational AI models. Your intellectual property remains completely secure and confidential the whole way through. In practice, inside NotebookLM, it's pretty incredible. Once your trusted anchor documents are securely locked into the framework, we can ask a highly technical question, say something about hybrid fiber-reinforced concrete. The AI doesn't just guess. It gives us a highly accurate response accompanied by exact, numbered citations that point straight back to your uploaded PDFs. Traceability and completeness are heavily prioritized over speed here. Section 3, the 4-stage code pipeline, from corpus to expert review. At a macro level, every single chapter in this standard goes through this exact 4-stage pipeline. Stage 1 is the corpus, which is just gathering your sources. Stage 2 is the digest, where we use NotebookLM to synthesize that data. Stage 3 is generative expansion, which is the actual drafting into code language. And finally, Stage 4, expert review. The key takeaway here is that human oversight drives every single step of this progression. This pipeline translates into mind-blowing efficiency for you. From one unified workflow, the AI automatically generates 3 totally distinct audience-variant outputs for your chapter. It writes a guide containing overviews, a commentary with explanatory technical notes, and the mandatory code itself, perfectly formatted into normative clauses using the precise shall, should, and may terminology required by the CSA. You don't have to write these 3 documents separately anymore. The system drops them all simultaneously right from your verified digest. Okay, this brings us to the full 14-step chapter development procedure flowchart. Now, don't worry, you absolutely do not need to memorize this. Just focus on the separation of tasks. The local human experts, that's you and the chapter team, handle all the critical decision points. The secure NotebookLM cloud processes the synthesis, and the generative drafting cloud handles the formatting. Notice how the entire process is punctuated by human decision forks? The technology only moves forward when an expert actually gives the green light. Which perfectly sets up Section 4, your role and responsibilities. Who handles each step? We want to completely eliminate any anxiety you might have about using AI tools. You do not need to be a prompt engineer. As the lead expert, your role is strictly to provide your technical sources, supply your engineering judgment, suggest a preliminary table of contents, what we call candidate skeletons, and finally approve the texts. That's it. The ASU team acts as your operators.
They set up the workspaces, validate the document sets, execute the AI prompts, and handle all that final formatting. You provide the engineering brain, the ASU team operates the machine. Another really crucial responsibility handed by the ASU and chapter teams is the reconciliation pass. Because we have different experts drafting different sections, like sprayed concrete over here and precast linings over there, we use AI to check all these chapters against each other. It flags any overlaps, sniffs out contradictions, ensures consistent style, and manages cross-references. That way, everything seamlessly compiles into one single unified CSS standard without missing a beat. Section 5. The 2 expert control gates. This is all about your absolute authority over the output. There are 2 non-negotiable control gates in this workflow, and you hold total veto power at both of them. Gate 1 happens right after the AI creates the technical digest. Literally, nothing is drafted into code until you review and approve that digest. Gate 2 happens after the drafting stage. The draft is not finalized until you accept it. And honestly, the best part, your only physical task here is to open up a standard Microsoft Word document, highlight the areas you don't like, add your comments, and fire it back to the team. If it needs 5 to 10 iterations to get it perfect, the ASU team will run them for you. To put this into perspective and show you how effective this is, let's look at the sprayed concrete prototype chapter. Our lead expert thoroughly reviewed the initial AI digest and sent back a Word document with exactly 184 distinct highlighted marks and comments. They pointed out gaps, added nuance about soft ground versus hard rock linings, and refined parameters. The ASU team took that exact feedback, fed it back into the prompt, and the AI flawlessly integrated all 184 corrections before any drafting even began. It is an incredibly responsive, iterative process. Finally, Section 6. Getting started today. Your immediate next steps. To officially kick off the intake process, we just need 3 quick deliverables from you. First, simply fill out the expert intake record form. Second, gather up and send us the PDFs of your Tier 1 anchor documents, the absolute Bibles of your specific subject area, plus any secondary supporting research. And third, sketch out 2 to 3 candidate skeletons. This is basically just a preliminary table of contents outlining how you think the chapters should be structured. Getting this right ensures the AI's architecture is anchored in your expert intent from day one. This entire workflow was custom-built to respect your time, secure your data, and amplify your expertise, turning what used to be years of painful drafting into a matter of focused, efficient review cycles. So as we wrap up this explainer, I'll leave you with this. What are the absolute foundational texts of your discipline? Do you have your anchor documents ready to begin the intake process today? Let's start writing the future of tunnel engineering together.